This is DPW Radio by Destination Pro Wrestling. Welcome everybody to Destination Pro Wrestling. My name is Tony, and this is something new that we're bringing to Destination Pro Wrestling. This is readily available on Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Google, pretty much wherever you could find podcasts. And today's a very exciting day because in just a few minutes, we will play an interview that I conducted with MLW star Alexander Hammerstone, which if you guys don't know who he is on the rise in the wrestling world, especially on MLW. He has the opportunity to become the first ever national Openweight champion, which is very exciting because it is a new title belt. And we talked about, the prestigious belts out there, and we talk a little bit about competition between MLW and some of the competitors. And we even talk a little bit about video games, which I thought was really funny. So, all in all, this was a great conversation. I hope you guys truly enjoy the interview. We have a lot of stuff booked with multiple wrestlers. And I want to say shout out to MLW, Major League Wrestling, for having a very awesome and professional team. A lot of cool things going on over there, guys. Don't forget, they are doing a live show for free, which will be on BN Sports, and it is going to be called Fury Road, June 1st. It's taking place in the greater Milwaukee area, so I highly suggest everybody just take a minute and look into it. If you're in the area, you guys should go and watch it. The tickets aren't expensive. If you guys don't live in Wisconsin, completely understandable. You guys should check it out online because it is free. It's going to be on TV as well, like I said, BN Sports. So very cool stuff happening in MLW, especially in a world where maybe, especially on my channel, we talk a lot about AEW and WWE and Impact. MLW is one of those companies that is producing quality stuff on a weekly basis. And I was so happy to talk to Alexander Hammerstone for many reasons. But ultimately, he's a great dude with some great goals, and he definitely let it be known that he's going to be the one walking out as champion. We even talk about the Austin Aries signing. So, guys, I'll let you guys listen to that in just a moment. But today's episode of DPW Radio is sponsored by DPW Champions. If you don't know what that is, DPW Champions cost only $4.99 a month. It's a reward program that we do here on Destination Pro Wrestling on the YouTube channel. If you guys just go to destinationpw.com, $4.99 a month. You guys get rewards for sponsoring the channel, and it's a really cool thing. You guys help me out. I give back to you guys. So ultimately, thank you for everybody who's been supporting. DPW Radio will be back next week. We got some more special guests coming onto the channel. Some of your favorite names in the wrestling world will be a guest on this channel. So with that being said, this is the interview between Tony from Destination Pro Wrestling and Alexander Hammerstone. Welcome back to Destination Pro Wrestling. My name is Tony, and today I am being joined by somebody who I think could very well become MLW's first ever national openweight champion. Today I have Alexander Hammerstone. Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Awesome, man. So, I'd like to start off by saying thank you for taking time out of your day to speak with me here. As you know, we got a couple big events coming up for Major League Wrestling, so I would love to hear, how you feel about some of these things going on.
Well, it's great. It's we got different major cities all over summer. Starting just a couple of weeks, we got Fury Road, and I've already secured my spot in quite a big match for that show. So I got a lot to look forward to.
Exactly. Speaking of Fury Road, that is June 1st in the greater Milwaukee area, which is really nice because this is going to be free on TV thanks to BN Sports. So if you could just kind of walk my audience through how you got here, and what this match means to you specifically.
Well, pretty much MLW had been talking about introducing a new title, that they were going to do something different. And recently that broke that it was going to be a national openweight championship, which meant it's not going to be, a cruiserweight title. It's not going to be a heavyweight title. It has no weight restrictions, the weight limits. So it's going to provide some interesting matchups. And they picked 4 competitors who had earned spots in rankings by winning some significant matches. I won against my match with Gringo Loco, so I'm moving forward to the finals, taking place at Fury Road.
Yeah, so, one of the things that I absolutely loved about this little tournament, I guess, is the fact that you pretty much won decisively. This wasn't, in all honesty, it didn't seem like Gringo Loco had any chance to beat you in this match. So, kind of explain to me, your preparation for this. Obviously, a new title. This is a world where in the wrestling industry, championship belts aren't always the most, they don't always have the most value in some organizations. So you have an opportunity to win a new title belt. What does this mean for you?
Well, let's backtrack a second. You were talking about how I had a decisive victory over Gringo Loco, but if you backtrack even further than that, all I've had in MLW has been decisive victories. So if we're going to talk about my preparation for this title tournament and this preparation for the finals, there's nothing special. I'm not pulling any tricks out of the bag. Everybody in pro wrestling today is always so thankful and grateful for everything they get, and they never saw themselves being here, and it just means so much to them. But I am the polar opposite of that. I've been laying the brickwork and the groundwork for years and years and years, and MLW was smart enough to scoop me up while the getting was good. So now I'm here, and the fact that I'm fighting for a title just a couple months in might seem like a shock to some people, but I'm honestly surprised it wasn't sooner. So the Openweight Championship, like you said, we have the opportunity to either make that become just another championship, or is it going to mean something? And when you put it around my waist, I'm going to make it mean something. I have a reputation for making belts important, for making belts mean like they mean something. Every company I've ever held a championship in, it's important. It's a main event, and that's going to be the same thing with the National Openweight Championship. I only have bad news for Tom Lawlor, because if he thinks that he's representing MLW as the face of the company, he's going to step to the wayside once I get that championship.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about Tom Lawlor, because he has a pretty big match on this card as well. But one thing that my audience has specifically pointed out was that this card, although it is free on TV, it feels like a pay-per-view. And, at this point, all eyes are on you. This is a huge opportunity for you. And, with so many people on this roster, what are some of the things that, wrestling fans could look forward to with your match? Because you are going to face either Brian Pillman Jr. or Rich Swann. So either way, we're going to see something special. But what is it that you feel you're going to bring to the table that will have people not thinking about Tom Lawlor, but instead they will be thinking about you?
Well, I mean, the thing with MLW is, like you said, we have a lot of talent on the roster, but we have a large diversity within that talent. So everybody's bringing a little bit of something different, and your boy Hammer ain't no different. I think I bring my own flavor to the ring, not only in the sense of the type of offense I bring with the high-impact moves that you don't get to see a lot of other places, and the tenacity, and just overall wanting to kick the shit out of my opponents, but it's something more than that. It's like I alluded to earlier, we're in a day and age where pro wrestling has kind of morphed away from what I think it should be and what I still try to represent when I get in the ring. And we got these guys that they're more concerned with, getting on Twitter and getting their GIF liked and, designing their sparkly gear and all these things. And it's like when you see a guy like me, when I come to the ring, why people say I stand out is because I don't have any of that. My attitude is all about getting in there and bringing the fight, bringing the aggressive nature of what I do, beating people up, being strong, hitting hard, and people see that.
Absolutely. Like I said, I personally feel like you're going into this and walking out as champion. But with that, I do have to mention, MLW did recently announce that Austin Aries is coming to the company. This is somebody who has been touted online as the belt collector. So, on June 1st, if you are the first ever champion, like I predict, many guys on the roster will target you. Do you have a list of people you want to defend the belt against specifically, or, just being the man that you are, ready to compete at all times, you're pretty much ready for anything?
See, I'm not one of those marquee guys that has my list in my back pocket of all the guys that I'd love to get a chance to work with. It doesn't go like that for me. I have a list of belts I want to get. I have a list of money I might want to make. I have different goals than these other people. So I'm not looking forward to working with anybody. I'm looking forward to working with whoever steps up. So when you got people on Twitter or Facebook, calling shots saying, "Oh, Hammerstone would have a chance against Davey Boy Smith," then I say, "Okay, bring it on." When you have people like you inciting, "Is Austin Aries a challenge for me?" then I say, "Okay, bring it on." And the thing about Austin Aries, it's like right before MLW, he and I were signed up to the same company, Ring Warriors, and I shared a locker room with him for weeks, and we never touched there. And it was a matchup that I've always had in the back of my head of what would happen when that day comes. And now with that signing to Major League Wrestling, that might be something that the fans actually get to see.
Absolutely. So, in this industry, it's 2019. It's very competitive atmosphere. Companies like WWE, Impact, ROH, and even now AEW. So, what is it do you think about MLW that stands out the most to fans?
They're not afraid to push boundaries. They're not afraid to invest in guys that they see value in, and they're not just picking flavors of the month. Wrestling has quickly become kind of like ADD culture where, fans just are looking for the guy to be the next thing and the next shiny toy, and they get hype about it and then they forget about it. Or you get these guys like underdog culture where wrestling fans almost obsess over somebody that they think can't make it. And then once they do, they don't care anymore. MLW isn't buying into that. They know that there's more to wrestling than that, and they're giving the fans good story and good characters and good build, and stuff that you're not seeing in a lot of places anymore. Even since I've been in MLW since the beginning of the year, the very first people that I stuck my nose in their business, the Hearts, we're still going at it, months later, and people are invested in that. So that's where they differ. They're not only bringing in the best wrestlers and the different styles. They're not buying into a trend. They're giving you what's time tested.
Absolutely. These days, I always talk about how pro wrestling is easily accessible. So, you could pretty much watch any product on any given day thanks to the internet and social media. So, obviously, you're in a position where you're on a wrestling show. You're on a wrestling show that's creating quality content on a weekly basis, easily accessible by many people at home. So for you, do you kind of see that as an advantage against, some of these other guys in the wrestling world that maybe they have talent and they're not getting that opportunity? Do you think MLW could be that next home for them?
It definitely could be. The thing is, TV is definitely an advantage, and getting those eyes on you is definitely an advantage. It doesn't matter if you're the best in the world if nobody knows it. And, the thing is, like, people, one of the things they like to beat home on commentary is that I was a hot free agent and that MLW capitalized, and every once in a while I see some marks commenting saying, "Oh, hey, that's not true. Nobody wanted this guy." But all you have to do is go back and see the places that I was wrestling, the companies that I was working for and having tryouts for just months before I signed with MLW. But it wasn't as much of a dollar amount as much as it was, like I said, when they have talent that they want to invest in, they care about their guys and they think about what they want to do with their guys. And they have the ability to have like a diverse amount of talent, with Contra, with Tom Lawlor, and with the Hart Foundation, but they make everybody on the show feel important. Everybody has a lane that matters, and so anybody who gets a chance to be part of MLW, it's definitely a major advantage for sure.
For sure. And, obviously with you being part of the Dynasty, a lot of people would love to be in that position because, as you kind of mentioned it, everybody kind of has their own lane. But you guys seem to be driving to the basket every time and scoring. So I would love to hear a little bit about, your chemistry and how you guys kind of, got together and the story behind that, because it seems to be one of the hottest things right now going on in MLW. And I know on a social media aspect, you guys are the ones that people love to watch and people love to hate you guys. So kind of walk me through that and then, just kind of share your experience.
When I joined MLW, that was that was the idea from the get-go. And as we joined up, there's a lot of commonalities that we share, but then they quickly realized that there's a lot of things that we don't have in common. And it was never a situation where they said, "Hey, Hammerstone, throw that leather jacket out, get a suit." It was never a situation where they said that you have to dress this way or talk this way. So the greatest thing about the Dynasty is, like, people might, hate us for all seeming like a certain type of arrogant prick, but we all have our own individual personality within the group. And that's the most fun with the Dynasty, is that it's not three guys trying to act a certain way. It's three guys doing their own thing, but then they just come together and make it that much better.
Absolutely. So I got to be honest with you, on my channel, one of the things I do on Destination Pro Wrestling, it's just, all out fun. I love to talk wrestling, play wrestling video games, and, I'm really there for the community. And my community specifically, they're really big fans of MLW. And often, people mention the idea of a video game for MLW, which, who knows when is the right time, but let's just give you a theoretical situation, right? Let's say MLW were to have a wrestling video game come out. You specifically have an opportunity to open up the package, put the disc on an Xbox or a PlayStation, and you have one match that you get to play. It's the first match that you're playing in this video game. Who are you picking for this match? What's the match type, and who wins?
Oh, man, and here's the moment where all your listeners get disappointed, because I would throw the video game away and go to the gym. Damn, terrible answer.
No, that's not terrible, man, because I just started working out. So maybe I should throw away the video games and start working out a little bit more. So I respect that. That's funny.
I guess to make things interesting, we could say I go up against Contra Unit to see if the fans in the video game jump the guardrails and do the crazy crap that they've been doing recently when those guys wrestle.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So I'll pretty much leave it at this. I mean, I really appreciate you for coming on. My final question for you this evening, it's more so just a personal goal for yourself. Obviously, you're doing really big things with MLW. The industry is blooming. There's a lot of things that are happening. So if there's something that you want to achieve by the end of 2019 in MLW, what is that goal, and how are you going to get there?
Well, I never signed with MLW just to say, "Hey, Mom, I'm on TV." I never signed just to get a consistent paycheck. I want to be the undeniable front of the company, the face of the company. I want the company on my back. So either I win this tournament and make that national Openweight championship the centerpiece of the show, or if the powers that be aren't going to let that happen, then I'm going after Tom Lawlor, and I'm going to take his belt, and I'm going to be the face of MLW by the end of this year, and there's not anybody that's going to stop me.
Well, my friend, you are absolutely on your way to achieving that goal. I know firsthand. I've been watching MLW, and I've been very impressed with everything that you've brought to the table, and I truly look forward to watching you live on TV capturing that belt. That would make myself very happy because, as I said, man, this is a pay-per-view worthy card, but it's completely free. So there is absolutely no reason for any fan to miss this opportunity. So with that being said, my friend, I appreciate you so much for joining me this evening. And as always, I wish you the best of luck, and I wish you a very healthy and long career, my friend.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. Take care.